Folks, part two, backyard romping and stuff. All right, so stuff like that. Folks, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this Axial SCX10II platform, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it 100. And in particular, the 55 Ford F100 that we see here, because of Axial / Horizon Hobby's very wise decision to choose the 55 Ford F100, and because they did such a fantastic job, in my opinion, of pulling off a really scale version of it. That's another thing I just absolutely love about this truck, and it's such a fantastic platform to start off with. You can do a custom paint job like I did. You can put all kinds of goodies in there like I did. You can do a complete and full interior like I did. I got a dashboard in there. It's kind of hard to see with all the glare, but there's a dashboard in there. There's a steering wheel. There's a floor, metal floor. And, of course, as always, the most important thing in here is my little Jimmy boy. Trying to find an angle that'll give me a little bit of a, well, anyway, there's me, steering wheel. You can see some of the dashboard. Jimmy's in there. I don't have my, when I crawl, when I'm trailing, I've got my mirrors installed. When I'm serious crawling and or doing donuts or other risky behavior, then I go ahead and pull the mirrors off so they don't get pulled off and get lost. Nice dust on the tires there. That's great. Okay, we got to find something to winch over, folks. We have to. I have to winch. I cannot. Here we go. I can't not winch. Okay, but it has to be something. I don't know. We got squeakiness because we got some dust in our bearings, I think. All right, now. And another thing, as I've mentioned already in this video, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, I believe this truck's so capable, especially when you get it set up like I've got mine, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this video, maybe. See, look at this. Look at her. I mean, are you serious? Slow and precise. Just like flying, in my opinion. The best results come from slow and precise. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I think maybe going to get stuck here for sure. Oh, yeah. Let me blow the dust off the lens. Blow the dust off the lens. And of course, we've got nothing but air on the back. What would happen if I popped it backwards? Okay, we are truly high-centered. There's just no question. Look in the back. Look at this. I got to get this side over here. Okay, we buried in there, folks. Can you see that? No way! Look at that, we got out of that without the winch. Well, that's not what we wanted. Let's get stuck again. Let's get stuck again, y'all. All right. I have to completely set myself up here. All right, try it again. That's pretty funny. That was cool. That was cool, doing, what am I going to call that move? Of course, it's not my own move. I didn't invent it, but I'm going to call it, the, oh, man. Okay, we're on the subject. Okay, whoa, look what I did. That was dumb of me. Oh, gee whiz. Now I'm really stuck. Okay, well, I wanted to be stuck, didn't I? Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm between a rock and a hard place, except for instead of a rock, we got a wood post that we're stuck on the front. And the hard place, instead of that, we got stuck against a little tree type of a bush. So that means winching, ladies and gents. Winching. I love... Oh, geez, can I even get to my hook? Can I even get to my hook? Let's find out, ladies and gents. Of course, we're going to have to make it happen. Okay, so... All right, I got my winch, just like the real deal. I got my winch hook in my hand now. Let's see if it'll go out. Let's see. No, it's not. We're just getting slack. All right, so I'm gonna have to. There we go. Okay, so I got it pulled out. It was caught. I have it snugged into its guide. There's a guide under the bumper that ensures the winch behaves properly. So you can see there's a little center screen. There's a little swage, I think that's called, and that fits semi-snugly into that routing hole under the bumper. And so I got to free that before I can winch out. Okay, here we go. Winching, baby. Winching, baby. Oh boy. Okay, now that we're out of there, I can go to a more normal angle. Okay, and what I do is I have a, let's see, that would be plenty. What I do is I have a hook on the forward base of my transmitter, ladies and gentlemen, which I attach it to. Okay, so we're going to go out some more. It's not 100% scale by any means, having a mobile anchoring point for your winch, but I'll take it. So here we go. We're going to combine some throttle with some winch. Ready? We're doing them at the same time is what we're wanting to do. So here we go. We're going to hit the throttle. Winch. That's it. Uh-oh. No, I let myself go backwards. I hope you saw that. Now, we're not out of trouble. We'll just get stuck again if we don't continue winching and throttling. So here we go. First some throttle. Then when we can't go any farther than the winch. When we can't go any farther than the winch. That's winch. Winch. That's it. See, now that's really kind of ideal the way I think winching should be, for me anyway. Okay, that's it. We're out of there now. See? We're saved. All right. Winch. We're going to unhook the winch from its place. There's the hook. And then we're going to go ahead and keep our fingers away from the trigger and go ahead and reel our winch back on into this truck. This is just a demo of this truck, just another one. I mean, there's no way you can take this truck where you're not going to have some fun, number one. Because it's not only an incredible crawler, and I do mean crawler, it can go dang slow and precise. On 3S, it also is quite the little ripper. It's quite the little ripper. Now you can see here, I think maybe, well, it's real shadowy, but hopefully there you can see the guide that under the bumper that the winch is going into. Man, I love this DX5C transmitter, which I now use for my surface vehicles. And I was getting that in the hole. That's what my wife said. In. Is that? Oh, not too good. Out. Out. And there we go. I think that there. There we go. Winch stowed. Okay, so now that we've made it over the obstacle, thanks to our gorgeous winch. And as always, I forgot to start my timer, but it doesn't matter. I got my video timer. So there we go. So we got over this here where we were quite high centered. Quite. So we got our behind over that, and now we're in here, and now we're gonna have to drive out here, which I think we can do. Hope you don't mind the two-part video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like crawling a lot, enough to want to watch the two-part video. All right. Hope so. Let's do some more winching. Still another bit of winching. Okay, this will be hard to get off of. Lady folks. Folks, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'll just kind of ease my way slowly, and then at the last part, just give it a little pop. We don't want stuff to fall off or break. Now, that was ideal. Now, we're hoping that we've got enough grip on our tires, and here's for, something for new crawlers. Okay, let's say you want to drive out of this, and you want to make sure the rear tires don't get stuck, and you want to make sure the front bumper isn't going to be stuck or remain stuck. What you can do is you're going to get a lot more grip, and also because you're going to get more surface area, more surface contact from your tire onto the terrain. For everything for reasons that I just mentioned, if you turn this, you're going to get even more bite and more good stuff going on. Now, so I don't hang up in the bumper and stuff. We're just going to give it a little pop, just like that. That's how we like to do it. Okay, what other stuff can we do? I'd like to find some kind of crazy, insane thing to winch over. That's what I'd kind of like to do. What do we got on this part 2? 9 minutes? All right, we'll wrap it up in a minute, I guess. My battery would appreciate it, so we'll do that. We'll bring her out on the grass and do a last beauty shot. And I'll throw in a little bit of setup information for anybody who might be interested on how I've got this truck set up. Because folks, if you really watch my videos, especially if you watch, I recently moved to Oregon, and I recently posted a 2-part video, and the title of the video is Epic Oregon Crawl Part 1 and Part 2. If you watch that, you're going to see what this truck can do. You're going to see what this setup on this truck that I've got can do, because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how well this truck articulates how scale it is in action, and how capable it is. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, folks. So get up in the grass, and I'll just tell you a couple more things, and we'll shut her down. Shut her down. Another thing for newbies to crawling, more often than not, you're going to want to use a diagonal approach, as I am now, because it's a much more effective way to approach a climb than head-on. For one reason, if the tires, if you hit it head-on, let's demonstrate that just for the heck of it. Okay, so if you hit it head-on like this, okay, so you've got both tires stuck up against the obstacle. Now this truck will go over it, and real slow, I bet you. Let's watch. Now what about the back? See if it'll do it without popping, and I think it will. A little bit, just a little bit of a pop. See that? But let's say you couldn't get over it. You can't get over it like this. Well, a more effective method is the diagonal method, because the obstacle in this case is the edge of the grass. Now, if you hit it head on, both your tires are hitting the most challenging part of this little spot at the same time. Well, that's not too good. If you change up to an angle, only one tire is hitting the really bad spot, in this case the right tire, but the left tire is still on the solid terrain outside of the grass border, if you see what I mean. So it's just much more effective. Just a much more effective way to do it, in my opinion and from my experience. All right, so over here in the shade, and then we'll set her down. All right, so I've mentioned all these things I'm about to mention in other videos, not everything in one video, but here and there. But I thought I'd just throw it in again on this video. All right, so first I modified the roll bar here. Originally this comes where, if I recall correctly, the roll bar comes down to here, right? And then there's a steep angled dealio here on which is mounted the spare tire. Okay, so I wanted a more old school look. So I went ahead and cut the roll bar, let's see here. You can see right there where my finger is. You can just make out there a little flat spot. Well, the roll bar used to go from there up to there. See, up to there like that. Same on the other side. So I used a saw, and I removed the piece that went between here and here. Same thing here. See, this went from here up to there on both sides. So I just sawed it all off. And yes, and then this here was originally, I can't remember what this was originally used for. I think it was behind, the spare tire was here, and I think this here was behind it in the back. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. No, it wasn't, because it's shaped like this. So this was here all along, but I painted it. I'm talking about this blue here, right here. So I painted that. Took off the sides of the roll bar and the back parts. This, which used to be turned around 180 degrees the other way, I turned it around and made it the bed, part of the bed of my truck, in two sections. What my concept, if you will, for this truck is that it's a vintage 55 Ford F100 that somebody custom modified for off-roading, big time, for genuine off-roading, four-wheeling, as we used to call it back in my day. And so that's what they did. They made it extra strong because it's got all this framework in here. See, it's got all this old school type of a roll bar, but very strong, and it's got all the extra, parts of what's going on here structurally. It makes it very light, but very strong and very scale, in my opinion. I could easily conceive somebody doing exactly what I've done here to their own real truck. Okay, so these tail lights here cost about $8 or $9 right here, and they're actually bicycle spoke lights, and so they have a little clamp on the back and that you use to clamp onto your spokes. Well, they also work quite well for clamping onto the are we still recording? We are. They also work quite well for clamping onto the bits of framework that go like this. And to turn these on, you simply twist the light. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. It's a bit iffy, but I think I can do it. There we go. Did we do it? Not yet. There we go. See that? It's hard to see now because it's full daylight, but you just twist it to turn it on. And this will be really, see if we can turn it off, and then twist it the other way. Let's see. Is that right? To turn it off. Not yet. All right, well. These are a little bit tricky. Am I going the wrong way? Right, well, this only happens when you're making a video. It doesn't want to turn off right now. So we'll say, okay, fine. Let's just pull this one off. I'll show you how easy it is to remove, and you can just as easily reinstall these. But this comes out, see that? This just comes out really. That's kind of a good thing. So that's that clamp I'm talking about that goes on a spoke normally. Well, and there's that piece of framework. Can you see that? Dead center screen right here. I know it's a crooked image. I mean, right. You can just make the top of it. You can see the top of it up here. Yeah, this will clamp onto that. And then, see if I can turn it off now. Okay, well, I'm going to figure out why this won't turn off at a later time. The little Washington license plate there, that's just a refrigerator magnet that I found at a drugstore in Seattle. So I'm going to get one for Oregon and run that. The tools, all the goodies I got from Amazon, everything you see here, except at Hobbytown, a Hobbytown retail shop in Seattle. I got the sleeping bag, camo, $10, has a zipper that functions. Everything else I got from Amazon. Pots and pans. The ammo can, you get 2 of these with the Axial truck. You just got to paint them. Bought the cooler, Amazon. Also got this at Hobbytown. Vehicle fluids. Got the beers, dollhouse items. The pots and pans are dollhouse items. Got the jack from Amazon. Auxiliary fuel tank, Amazon. Somewhere I lost the lid on this. I think I lost it today. So I'll have to go look. I'll have to search the yard to find the lid for this, because I think this was on here when we started this video. We got some stickers from TRB from some fantastic transmission bearings that I bought. SBC makes some of the scale goodies back in here. Hi RC, yeah, they make some of the scale goodies too. Then we got a dual exhaust here, folks. We have this truck here has genuine, ladies and gents, genuine dual exhaust. You see that? Badass. You see that? See that? Oh, we like the dual exhaust. Okay. All right, setup. Let's see, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So inside, I used a metal and I cut a floor and painted it, and I'll show you how it fits on the truck. I crashed my RB7 for a second time and totaled it, but the pilot in the RB7 survived, so I repurposed this particular pilot. I don't know if we can see what it means, but I repurposed this particular pilot to be the driver in here. I bought the steering wheel from Amazon, installed it, made the dashboard. I removed the stickers, the tinted window stickers, because it makes it look like it's got tinted glass here, and the windshield. I removed those because I want to clear windows. And then I put in this black, now we can see that. I put in this black here because to simulate the black weather stripping that goes in a wing window, yeah. And then I painted the black seal that goes around a windshield. I got these from Amazon, these windshield wipers. They're rubber, actually, they work really well. Stock tires. These tires are the Maxxis, what are they? Maxxis Troubadour or something? Maxxis Trepador, I think. Anyway, these tires are fantastic. They're stock. The more you use them, the grippier they get, folks. And then we've got our winch, as I showed you, and I'm going to show you the interior of it. But there's, see that dust in the bumper? I don't know if you can make that out. I've got headlights, which are stock. Now the amber lights there, the parking or running lights, as I use them for, those come clear, but I painted them so that they're amber, which is much more scale and very easy to do. Yeah, and then under here I have kind of an interesting thing, which is, you see those little red and yellow hanging down. That's how I can easily locate my body clips and pull them out, you know. And if I'm trying to put them in and they're not cooperating and I drop one, well, it's easy to find it with that little hanger on or dealy there. What else? Oh yeah, there's a porcelain or ceramic anyway, a little dachshund figurine in here, which is my Jimmy boy. There you can see him. Got that from Amazon. Very, very nice quality. Really pretty amazing quality. I'd like to really get a nice shot of Jimmy in there, but it's really just too reflective. Anyway, so we got that. Dashboard I made out of balsa. I made a dashboard out of balsa. Well, I hope you can see Jimmy in there. I think you can see him right now. There's also a toolbox in there. Super scale, little tiny toolbox, and all the tools are metal. Can we see that? Well, not really. You might be seeing it. I can't tell on the screen. What else? Okay, I guess that's about it. I think, yeah, I guess we'll just have to, oh, no, I'll show you the inside. So here we go. Here's how the, I'm going to set this down for a second, ladies and gents. I'm going to see if I can turn off this dang bicycle light. After all, it's a little crazy. Okay, we got it off. Okay, now, so let me show you how handy these full deals are under here. So I don't know if you can see. I think you can just see. I'm going to grab this yellow. See it? It's on the screen. I'm going to grab that and pull that out. And see, there's my clip on there. Okay. Same deal on the other side. I hope they don't run out of memory on this video. And same thing on the other side. Can reach under here and just pull it like this. Let me get my finger in there. Out you go. And there you go. There's the other one. So, put these here. Don't want to lose those. Okay, so now we can open up this girl. All right, so we open her up. I forgot to bring my stand that keeps the hood open. But there we go. All right, so there's my interior from back here. Back side of the dashboard. Seat, the upholstered seat that I made. Everything's held in with Velcro, it's extremely sturdy Velcro. So it stays put, but if I want to remove it for some reason, I can do it. Okay, and then there's my floor. And because before, I'd be cruising around scale, and in the videos and stuff, you'd see all the wires and stuff in the floor. So let's see if I can. So this pulls off of here. It's got Velcro on the back. See, right there where my thumb's pointing. Velcro there. So it's got these foam blocks on there that makes it sit level. And the Velcro that you see up against the metal, it makes it sit just how it should. Gosh, look at all the dust I got in here right now. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. Oh, she's dusty, romping around a wild and crazy backyard romping. All right, so here's the servo winch. Very inexpensive, $40. I think it's a 32 pound. I think it's a 32 pound. So I bought the servo winch there, which is held in place by an extremely diabolically brilliant, if I do say so myself, system of zip ties and glue and stuff. So you get yourself this servo center screen for about $40. I believe it's a 32 pound. You get that for about $40. You buy the little spool that you see dead center screen now, and it comes with the cable and it comes with the hook. You buy that for about $10. And then in my case, I use zip ties to secure the winch motor. One reason I did that is because it's not going to move. It's not going anywhere. At the same time, it's got a little bit of flex, right? If it was just solid, maybe something would break, but it's got a little bit of give to it. So for some reason, I think that's a good idea. And then, so I run my cable right off that spool, right off the servo, into this housing. See, dead center screen. And this is a spring that's normally used for a screen door. A spring. So I got a spring that was the right size, and I routed it, as you can see, and held it in place with zip ties, as you can see. And my cable runs through that, past the battery, in between the battery and the steering servo. Yeah. And then at the end of that, under the bumper, through that guide I was telling you about, which you can see there, center screen. Let me get my finger away from the throttle. Can you see it down here? Let me show it to you, because it's kind of important. Okay, so there's my string guide. Thinking about guitars. Okay, I'm thinking you can see it. Right there where the tip of my finger is, there you can see it. That's where it goes through. See that? Okay. So the most important thing for this, okay, now we're caught. Okay, the most important thing here with the way this truck handles, which is, to me, it's on a scale of 1 to 10, this truck handles like 100. I might have said that. Okay, the most important thing for me is the springs here. These are the stock springs, dead center screen. I pulled those out quite a bit to lengthen them, to increase the space between the coils, uh, and to lengthen the spring entirely, which I think I said, which gives them more stiffness and keeps the chassis up higher. I wanted the chassis. I wanted the body, front and rear, to be as high above the chassis as it will go, and it goes the perfect amount. And I wanted it to be stiff. I wanted it to be stiff. So especially when I added all my goodies here, that weighs quite a lot. All my scale stuff in here weighs quite a lot. So that made the tail end sag, to be quite honest with you. So I had to correct that, just like you would with a real truck. Get yourself some air shocks or some stiffer shocks. So I went ahead and stiffened up the suspension to compensate for that weight, so that it's as if the weight isn't there, and the truck behaves and articulates perfectly, in my opinion, and for what I like, with the expanding of those shocks. I also use 40 weight RC shock oil in my shocks, 40 weight, nothing else. So I got that in there. I've also got my little adjustable dealios, dead center screen, the hexagon shaped deal. Right, here we go. Here's my foot toe buddy right here. I've got these tightened quite a bit down. You can see how much is thread is showing, which means I went down quite a bit there. Stiffened up the front and stiffened up the rear. I went down quite a lot. Quite a lot on the rear. Now see how much thread we got? Let's see if we can get closer. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, so I went down bunch on the rear. That's a tightening. That's a stiffening, dampening, and all that kind of thing. So I went way down on that to dampen and stiffen. And then this is the front. Oh, the reason it's so much dampened, though, folks, is because I'm pushing down the body. But nonetheless, in the normal, let me do this. Okay, so that's the normal sort of state of affairs with the rear. See, it's shortened a lot, it's stiffened a lot, but it rides at maximum height, and the body's level. The body rides level on the chassis. And then the front one, for whatever reason, is much longer, and I've also expanded it a bunch. Now it's popped off of its little dealio there. Whoop. The bottom of that shock spring popped off of its little place on the bottom dead center screen. So this one, as you can see, it's not. There we go. Okay, so not applying any pressure on the rear. So you can see that the rear is a little bit shorter. Not by that much though. There's the rear, and there's the front. I think they're about the same, actually, folks. Yeah, I was pressing down on the rear of the truck before when I said it was shorter. They're about the same. The rear one's got more dampening and more stiffness and more spreading of the shock spring to give it more stiffness. So that's going on there. So that's how we get the perfect ride to 40 weight shock oil. Adjust the little tension ring to shorten and put more tension on the spring or the reverse. And then spreading the springs to make them stiffer, from the get-go. I just made the springs stiffer from the get-go by expanding all of them, and then I fine-tuned the adjustments as you see, for the length that you see and the amount of space or lack thereof between the coils, and that gives us a level and stiff yet responsive suspension. It's articulate enough, it's juicy enough, the shock articulation, that she'll really, even very, very, very slow, she'll really move really wonderfully, without hesitation. Yet, at the same time, she's stiff enough that the bed doesn't sag with the weight of all the stuff in there. She doesn't max out, she just is perfect. And, now with time, the bottom of the body here at the bottom of the door panel, that's going to kind of warp in. You can just see here, see that? There's a little bit of something there. Well, just because of whatever, just from age, on my model anyway, this door kind of warped inward. And so what I did is I installed, which you don't notice, you can see that it looks level, looks great. See, looks great. But I installed on the inside here a piece of foam. See that foam there? Well, the bottom of the door here, the inside of it hits that piece of foam, and those two pieces of foam actually, and makes it so that the door panels sit level. I don't know if you can see that, it's probably too dark, but it sits level on there. So that's a little thing I did. That's it. I used Krylon Ocean Blue paint on this here truck. and which is primer and paint in one. It's plastic safe. Um, I wanted to finish blemishes and stuff like that, and so by happenstance I was painting it and it started raining, so I got this finished blemishing from that, which looks perfect. I had a grandfather with a '56 Studebaker pickup truck, this color. It's all dirty. This color, and he had wonderful corrosion underneath the paint, like you can see simulated there, center screen. So it didn't go through the paint, but it was a little bubbly under the paint. See, like that? Oh, it's so scale, because I've seen that for real on my grandfather's truck. So, and then when you scrape things, it just gets cooler and cooler. You get the marks here from the battle scars, which are actually medals of honor, medals of crawling honor. All right, I think that's it, folks. This truck, when I bought it, was $500 plus about $50 tax, 550. Battery not included, that's about another 50. You're looking at about $600 to get into this truck. And that's a lot of money for me. That's really a hell of a lot of money for me. But I can tell you about 2 years later, it's worth every penny. It's worth every penny. It's an investment. I live on Social Security, but it's an investment because I've been enjoying this truck immensely for years, and I will for years to come. It's very solid, very reliable. Parts are available. Performs exquisitely. All right, that's it. I'm going to shut this down before people fall asleep and or change the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. Thanks for your content. Thanks for your all you good RC people out there. Thanks for your contribution to the community and contribution to me having a great time watching your content and enjoying your humor and learning. I learn a lot of things from all y'all's channels, and I enjoy the live chats. Yeah. So far, I watch regularly Jeff and Laura Alabama live chat, live stream, and also Pilot Ryan. And who else? There's some more, but I'm running out of battery power, so I'm going to sign off at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.